Hi, I'm Mohit Mittal. I'm computer science, class of 2000, entry number 96144, Nilgiri Hostel. At the moment, I work at PIMCO as Chief Investment Officer for our core fixed income strategies.
So, Mohit, do you remember Mittal?
Absolutely, I think Vintano is something that anybody from IIT can never forget.
Yeah. So, any memories you would like to share with us?
I think a couple of things come to mind.
Yeah.
One is the rendezvous.
Yeah.
So in rendezvous, they would put like this dance stage here, or music stage, and then we would all
Oh,
be.
here it used to
It
be.
used to be, at least in
Okay.
our time, it used to be here. So we would all be dancing, and I still remember like my fourth year rendezvous, and I had just gotten the job that I was going to take, and just the best kind of time with the friends, just dancing around like crazy in this wind tunnel. And then the second is always like during the day.
The
Because
convocation day?
no, any day,
Any day.
any
Okay.
work day, you have classes here, you have classes here, but this would always be kind of place where we would just say that let's meet at the Vinti,
Okay.
and you would hang out here, you would sit here, talk about whatever happened in classes, talk about anything, and then from here on we would kind of
Yeah,
do
because
what
your class would be here, like LT,
LTs and even the
Computer
department,
Science
computer science,
Center.
like, yeah, Unix center was here, so we would just come here. But this would be the place where all of us would always at least meet once a day here, and then we would sit here. That's where we would all sit and like, drink coffee or even eat lunch or whatever.
Okay.
So.
And do you remember your first, like the JE Advance results out here?
Oh,
Or you missed
yeah,
it?
yeah, no, I was not here. I was in Bathinda, but I had somebody come in and check. I think that's where they post the
Yeah, they
results here.
post
Yeah, yeah,
here.
no, I was not here. I was in Bathinda. I think the first thing is always I remember about IIT is just coming here and going to the seminar hall for convocation. What do you call it? Convocation, right?
Orientation.
Orientation, sorry,
Yeah,
orientation, orientation,
yeah.
orientation.
So Mohit, when you walk after 25 years after graduating from IIT Delhi on same campus as an alumni, and what is the feeling?
It's a very mixed emotion.
Yeah.
I think, honestly speaking, there are lots of memories that are coming to mind, like which
Yeah.
I had kind of forgotten about for so long. Like I remember the IBM lab
Yeah.
used to be here. I don't know if it is still here or not. The running for different lectures, all the nervousness and worry. Oh, mera grade अच्छा नहीं आएगा, GPA would go down. All of those memories are coming together. So that's one aspect of it. The other aspect is that how fortunate I was to get an opportunity to study at an institute like this.
Yes.
All the impact that professors made in our lives, and and it helped, and honestly helping me get to a place where I never thought I would be. When I first came to IIT back when I was like 18 years old.
Yeah. So IIT Delhi was your first choice, or it
Yeah.
was?
Yeah, so IIT Delhi was the first choice because like I grew up in Punjab. IIT was my first choice, and within IITs, Delhi was the first choice because it was closer to home. I think
And
that's,
computer science?
yes, it was the first choice. But again, it was purely because I did not know any better. I think that's the one thing. I chose computer science because everybody said that everybody who gets who has a choice can pick computer science. But I didn't know any better at that time. But it was an incredible experience. One of the most intense, one of the more intense programs. Certainly learn a lot, make really good friends. Have one of the best set of faculty members here, and also the infrastructure. I think even back in 96, 97, like being able to have access to that kind of computing infrastructure, wireless internet was just taking off. If
Yes,
you
yes.
remember
My
back
next
then.
question was
Yeah.
that because in 2000, in 90s there was entire
Yeah.
industry was down,
Yeah.
but after in 2000s how it was like when you had you took computer science, but कभी आया दिमाग में कि नौकरी लगेगी नहीं लगेगी market, how it was?
So I think I still remember, back in the day, computer science, it was a hot field. It was a
Yeah.
very in-demand field. And the other in-demand thing was like, dot-com was
Yeah.
a lot of kind of frenzy around it. So, we used to talk a lot, ki, oh, ye startup karenge, wo startup karenge. We would brainstorm ideas. Um, didn't pursue any because of whatever reasons. But I think the intent always was that use the skills or the things that you have learned to be able to succeed in whatever you decide to do. So
Right.
some of my friends, they went for masters. I took a job
Yeah.
in consulting where again I was using my computer science experience for
So was
that.
it a placement from IIT or
Yes, yes,
yeah?
yes. So Deloitte Consulting,
Deloitte. Yeah.
Deloitte campus placement, interviews were in campus. I was talking. That's what I remember. Like the first round was here, and then the second round was at a hotel somewhere. I don't remember one of the hotels in Delhi. They did offer really good food, so that's the other thing that I remember. As a student, one
Yeah.
of the perks of interviews was that you could get to eat good lunch. But yeah, it was campus placement.
So, when after graduating, after doing your BTech, you took job,
Yeah,
and after that you did your masters.
yeah.
So, what is the story behind that?
Yeah, so again, like I think I was one of the students who did the computer science to do the job, but what I experienced after 3, 4, 5 years in job was that there is a certain kind of call it an additional education that I need to kind of take kind of take my career from the trajectory that it was
Yes.
currently
Yeah.
it was at that time to a trajectory that could be even more upward sloping. And again, talking to again, this is where a lot of the seniors helped me, and a few of my seniors from IIT, the relationships that I had built, they were the ones who were advising me, and they said that that would be probably a good course for you to look at. They helped me with the admissions process in the sense that they reviewed my
Hmm.
application, reviewed my essays, and I was fortunate to get
And
an
this was after graduating, after 5 years.
after 5 years. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like one of my seniors, Akshay Singh, class of '99, computer science.
Okay.
He's been a great friend and mentor over the years. He was the one who advised me how to pursue this. He was the one who reviewed all my essays. But he's an IIT alumni and he's a senior. He was not even my same hostel.
Okay.
So I think that's the kind of beauty of the close-knit campus and the relationship that we have within IIT. That DJ
So
thing
you are
there.
you were the member of the committee of Rendezvous,
Yeah, and I was the
the organizing.
for first
Yeah.
year. First year students are always put into security.
Yes.
so,
Still same.
so I did that, and then as you get into
You get promoted.
promoted, yes,
Yes.
so you get promoted. I think I was organizing in my fourth year that OP theater or whatever that.
Dogra Hall.
No, the theater.
The open air theatre.
Open air theater.
Oat.
Oat, yes,
Yes.
Oat, yes. I was organizing one of the events there in my fourth year, so that was the graduation. But,
Yeah. So during your time, it was very common that alumni used to come and talk to students, or how it was. Like
I don't recall. That
you don't
much.
recall
No, it was
anyone. No one used to
no,
come.
no. At
Oh,
that
okay.
time, it wasn't.
And you guys were aware about what alumni are doing and where they are.
We were aware from what we had heard from our seniors. So we were aware about what our seniors were doing and what we had heard from our seniors.
Okay.
But there was not as much of a formal knowledge of or a way to even know what other alumni were doing.
Because at your time, I don't think alumni at India, like now we have unicorns. The most unicorns are from
Yeah.
IIT Delhi.
Yeah.
So that time, I don't think there were
Yeah.
so many. So in US, of course, in US they were there, but like
Yeah.
Vinod Khosla and all were there in US.
So we would know the big names,
Yes.
but not. But again, they were unapproachable. They were like
Yeah.
they were viewed as unapproachable names. But I think nowadays, with of course, with technology and with a little more of a structure around it, probably students have more access to the
Yes.
alumni now, which
Yes.
is a good thing.
Yes.
Which is a wonderful thing. I think students should certainly utilize that optionality because alumni want to help.
Yes.
Alumni certainly because they know that this is one of the really strong talent pools out there. So they want to kind of they want to engage with this talent pool. I was usually not the front bencher. I was somewhere in the fifth, seventh, eighth, somewhere
Okay.
in the not the absolute last bencher, but not in the first bencher either. I think lots of memories. Sometimes even falling asleep during a lecture. That's also
Yeah.
not a good memory, but it certainly is there. But I think one of our, faculty members or one of our professors, he was very punctual on time. He would take attendance every day, and sometimes he was quite kind of focused on it, and he had a strict rule that if that class lecture starts at 9 o'clock, and if you're not in the lecture hall by 9 o'clock, he would close the door,
Okay.
and then you would be marked absent. And if you have a certain number of absence over the course of the semester, then he would not let you take the final test.
Okay. Oh.
So certainly there used to be kind of just before the 9 o'clock, there used to be rush to get into the lecture hall, and if you miss it, then it would be a penalty for that.
Yeah. And which was the most most favorite course you did, or now
The
you
most
think?
nightmarish course
Yeah.
is plenty. I think the first year, nightmarish in the sense that most difficult
Yeah.
was the same professor's course. It was PH 110, I think, was the number of the course, or maybe 210. I can't remember the
Physics course.
Physics course.
Yeah.
And my first year, when you are coming to IIT, you're all like toppers in your
Yeah.
respective schools, in your cities, all that stuff, right? So our first test, I got 4 out of 40.
Okay.
One,
So
that's,
it was F.
oh, this is my first minor exam.
Acha,
First
okay.
minor exam, 4 out of 40. And I was like panicked and like, oh my God, like
But
my life is over. Like I'm getting 4.
But was that an average score?
It was pretty low average. I think average was probably 7 or 8. And the highest was like 18 or something like that. But still, like, 4 out of 40, it certainly, jolts you and makes you realize that you are in a different league now.
Right.
So you have to up your game. But that's the one thing.
This is very common when you come to IIT, because you are topper entire your school life, in family, friends, society, and in IIT. Just imagine if that letter would have gone to your parents, like,
Yeah.
in first exam it is just 4. So the pressure from parents. So did you felt any pressure from parents during your IIT days?
Not really. I was fortunate in that sense. I did not feel any pressure from the parents. I had, like, my parents were like, they were happy that I'm here. So
Okay. Okay. So itna ho gaya, wo hi kafi hai.
they were happy that
And from Bhatinda, I think
Yeah.
very few students would have
at that time,
qualified for
yeah,
IIT.
they were happy. So, and again, like, my entire family has always been
So you're the
super
first IITian in entire family, or you had some cases?
first, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so everybody was always saying positive things about me. So even if I had shown 4 out of 40, they probably wouldn't have.
College ki galti hai.
They would have thought that, oh, this is something, there's a bad day or something like that. They
Yeah.
wouldn't have kind of.
Yeah.
They would have found it hard to believe that their son is messing up in academics because, yeah.
Right. And were they happy when you told them that you want to leave the job and go back to US, and you go to US and do your master's? So what was their reaction?
No, I went to the US straight after IIT. I was the campus placement.
Was in US?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. I
So-
thought it was in
no,
India. Yeah.
No, it was for Chicago office of Deloitte. So I was hired straight for that. My parents were very supportive always. They've been supportive throughout. Their view has been like, whatever you prefer, whatever makes you happy. They clearly, obviously, did not want their son to leave.
Yeah.
So there is that element of sadness, but they have been very
So they
supportive.
are in India, right? They stay in India?
Yeah, they live in India. They spend time with us in the US as well, fair bit. So that's all good. But they were supportive for me going to the US, and then same way after 5 years of work there, they were supportive
For your master's?
for my masters. Again, whatever I wanted, they've been supportive.
Oh, that is good. Yeah. So do you want to share a story how you used to be that time for attending lectures an early morning, or first lecture?
Yeah.
Any funny story related to the first lecture? Or
Yeah, I mean, I think there are lots of kind of interesting stories here. We would all kind of rush to go up to get to the lectures on time. We have this one story that many of our classmates will always remember, which is one of our professors was very particular about attendance and being on time. And there's a instance where a bunch of us get into the elevator to go up, and the professor is also with us. So when the elevator reaches on the floor for the classroom, the students politely ask the professor to get out of the elevator first, and the students follow. So the professor goes in first, but it was already time for the lecture. So the professor goes into the lecture hall and then closes the door behind
Oh.
him, while the students who let him lead the way out of the elevator were left behind.
So next
without-
time you used to like, what was the scene next time whenever that professor was in elevator?
You just make an attempt to get there 2-3 minutes before the professor.
Yes.
There was another time, again, we were making lots of noise. Our warden comes in and says that, don't make noise. Certain, like, computer science department kids have to study.
Okay.
While those were the kids who were actually making the most noise. So there's always an irony.
Because you are from computer science
Yeah.
department.
So
Yes.
again, like within IIT, like people would think that the computer science kids have to study
Yeah.
the most.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, he will just take around. Thank you, sir. See, this is the last one. So how do you feel walking into Nilgiri after graduating in 2000?
I it's a bit of an emotional,
Yes.
feelings. We have lots of memories. Or that bull sign,
Yeah.
Neil Bulls.
Neil
that's-
Bulls.
Yeah. We would have this one phone here,
Huh.
and
Huh.
that phone used to be whenever parents would call or somebody would call.
Huh.
So the guard would pick up the phone,
Yes.
and we had this communication system. So the guard would say, "C4, tera phone hai," and then somebody along the way would yell again, and then the sound would
Oh.
somehow reach C4.
Oh, okay.
There was no cell phones.
Yeah.
This used to be our common room.
So this is still the common room.
हाँ, तो यहाँ पे we would have like movies or whatever. TV होता था, तो TV नहीं है यहाँ पे.
अब phones है तो TV
हाँ, so it used to be big TV in front, and we would have all these couches here, and then
Yeah.
back here we would watch
So
movies.
this
and
is
all.
still the common room.
हाँ.
So ये आपके टाइम पर आपका भी लिखा होगा हाउस से की नहीं है. हाँ 2000 अतीत अग्रवाल.
Class of 2000, God of Supreme Caution. वैसे 2002 पे पहुंच गए. House से.
So I think you graduated उसके बाद के, इसके पहले का है नहीं यहाँ. Oh, it is there. What is
Lieutenant Secretary Gaurav Katari. This must be 2000, means 2000 to 2001. Like it might mean that.
हाँ 2000. So last year.
मतलब like the class of the start of 2000. Oh, it's a 2000, 2001 लिखा हुआ है ना?
हाँ.
No, that's what it is. Basically, it's the year after
Yes,
me,
yes,
right?
yes,
That's
yes.
what I'm like, why do these names they're not my classmates?
But ये तो होगा name of house warden.
हाँ, warden. इसमें ये क्यों नहीं लिखा हुआ?
Here नहीं लिखा हुआ है. But
Oh, SP Jain. That's what
हाँ.
that is, SP Jain.
हाँ.
That's not it. Okay, fine.
So I have cards.
Okay.
So you can select anyone. So
Okay.
so we'll switch to rapid fire now.
Okay.
So you select one card.
Okay.
So this is a very general questions would be there. So are you ready?
Sure.
So what is that you are not good at but you get appreciated for?
Not a tricky question. I mean, I could joke and say my work. I certainly get appreciated for that. I'm not sure how good I am at it.
One habit, or else you can just relate this to your IIT days. What was that one thing you were not good at, but you used to get appreciated by professors or by
Oh, I can
friends?
certainly relate to that.
Yeah.
Programming.
Oh, okay.
Once my professor said to me, "Oh, look at," he said, "Oh, look at this wonderful program that Mohit Mittal created," and everybody in the class knew that I am not good at it, but somehow I kind of
You got appreciated. Yes. What habit you would like to get rid of, and one you would like to maintain?
um, habit I would like to get rid of probably would be still have I probably can never get rid of it. I have a habit of biting my nails, and I can
Okay.
never get rid of that.
Okay.
Particularly if I am kind of stressed or I'm kind of a lot of things going on, I'll do that. I probably will never be able to get rid of it, but I would like to if I can. And then to maintain, probably just workout schedule. I think that's
Okay.
important as we get older.
Right. If you were a bird, where would you like to fly?
Antarctica. That's one
Okay.
place I've never been.
Okay. Uh, this is very funny actually. Intimate the sound of an animal you dislike.
Imitate the
Yeah.
sound of an element that I dislike. What do I? Snake probably. So hiss, something like that.
So, IIT Delhi or Wharton?
Depends for what.
First, you can say the best times.
Oh, the best times IIT Delhi, by far, by far, by
Hostel
far.
or department? You said both, but
Hostel or?
department,
Oh, hostel, hostel.
hostel.
Yeah,
And first year or fourth year?
first year.
Why?
Just everything is new. You don't know anything. Just making new friendships. There's a novelty to the new aspect.
And how do you reimagine New Nilgiri?
Probably a little more spacious. I just went to my room when I was here, and I saw that instead of having 2 kids, what we used to have in our room, now we have 3 kids per room. So that leaves no space to have a chair and a table.
Yes.
And that room, when you look at it, is probably just enough for 1 kid, let alone 2. So 3 is way too much. So hopefully more spacious.
Okay. And one message you would like to give to the students?
Pursue what you really enjoy. I think that's the most important. Oh, sorry. Pursue what you really enjoy. I think that's very, very important. Generally, what I have seen in my experiences, people tend to follow what they see as others having done to be successful. But always remember that in everything that you do, there are tons of people who are really interested in and are passionate about doing what they are doing. So if you're not passionate about it, you will never succeed. So important to be very, very passionate about what you are really trying to do.
And one message you would like to give to alumni why they should give back to the institute?
I think we were incredibly, incredibly lucky and fortunate to get the education that we got at IIT. The comparable cost of that education would be much, much higher for this standard of education that we get here. We were fortunate to get that education in a very subsidized manner. So to an extent that the alumni who have benefited from that education and are in a fortunate situation to be able to give back should certainly kind of consider how they can support this institute.
Thank you, Mohit. Thank you for taking out time
My pleasure.
and coming
always.
here for this wonderful campus story journey.
Thank you for giving me this wonderful tour and helping me relive a lot of those memories. I had a wonderful time.